Hi everyone, this video is going to show you how to simply get into GoGuardian, how to create a class, and just do some basic classroom management stuff with monitoring and collaborating with your students with our GoGuardian. Um, to talk about advanced stuff, we could talk about it at a total different time, but this is a good start for all of us. So the fastest way to get to GoGuardian is underneath the staff folder on your Chrome browser. You will see that there is GoGuardian. And if I click on here and I sign in, I'll get to here. A really efficient way of utilizing, of creating your classroom in GoGuardian is by connecting your Google Classroom with it. So right now I actually have my Google Classrooms, a lot of them, and I'm going to click on my sample class that I've created. Now any student I add to here, invite, or they join, I could get GoGuardian to sync with it so that I don't have to constantly invite students. It's a very efficient way of doing this. So how do I do this? Well, first off, I need to add a classroom. So I'm going to click on the Add Classroom button. Okay, so I'm not going to create one, right? I'm not going to make a name and do all that fun stuff. I'm just going to add from Google. Okay, so here's my sample class. I'm going to click on my sample class. And now I could start talking about a schedule, but right now I'm going to skip that. That's going to be a whole different video, but it's really great to know about. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to skip this. All right, my students are now, so sync students from Google. It already has my test student who exists here. If I invite more students and then they join, all you need to do is click this button that says sync students and they'll automatically be enrolled. So now I have my class. And I could flip through all my classrooms here. So if I click on this button on the top left, I could see all the different classes I have here. All right, now, nothing's happened. We just started a classroom. Our next step is actually starting a session to see what you can do. Now, like before, there's a little section that said I can make schedules. We'll talk about that at a different time or during our after-school PD. However, here, I could start a session and I could say how long I want it, and I can even talk about what it's going to be covering. But right now I'm going to hit start session. All right, so right now it will show me if my student is online or not. How do I know? Little green dot right there. All right, so right now it is showing that the student is actually on our district website. But if they're on any other websites or different tabs are opening, it will show what the active tab that they're looking at, right? So right now I'm Google searching on one side. It does show the tabs that they're working on and all of that fun stuff that's going to be popping up on the student's Chromebook. So right here, imagine you have multiple students. It's going to monitor multiple students on what's happening. And you can even granularly click on the student and see exactly what's doing. Now there's a few tips that you can do, but I'm going to probably break it down in a few videos, but I want to share with you what also the student's doing here. So if I check on a student or multiple students, I can open a tab for them and send them to a website. I could lock their screen saying that right now they're kind of like off task, so I can lock their screen. There it is. And then I could also unlock it to bring it back into here. And then say if I was sending something out, I can't exclude them. So what else I could do besides just checking the box, opening the tab, lock screen, unlock, and all that fun stuff is I could even enable chat with students so that if I wanted to non-verbally talk to a student, I can share a note, and I can say check docs, and on their end, the student should be able to see that message that does pop up. Here we go. And I can even see what's happening here. So there's a lot. This is pretty amazing to be able to work with your students and see from their perspective what they need to do, and also being able to communicate non-verbally to work with your students. So this is just scratching the surface of using GoGuardian, but it's a great way for us to start.